So here's the question. As a real estate investor, how do you build a business that you're excited to show up to every day while you constantly grow your stream of passive income that you and your family can depend on for life without having to leave your computer or even live somewhere that houses are affordable? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. Welcome to the Virtual Real Estate Investing Podcast with your host, Brian Elwood.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I hope you guys are doing fantastic today. It's another beautiful sunny day here in Denver. I'm kind of driving around right now, getting some stuff done, some personal errands and whatnot. I don't know about you, but if I let my personal stuff pile up too much because I'm focused on work, it starts to stress me out because the to-do list just grows larger and larger. So I think it's important to take a half day once a week and just kind of knock out all that stuff at once so it doesn't weigh on your mind. So that's what I'm doing today. And the topic I want to talk about today is actually a little different from what we normally talk about. It doesn't have to do with real estate necessarily, but it does have to do with your success in real estate in a big way. I was listening to one of my main mentors this morning, Russell Brunson, and he was talking about how if you, as an entrepreneur, don't treat your body the same way that a professional athlete does, then you're crazy, basically, and you're missing out on a lot of opportunity. And physical health is really important to me, and I feel like it's a secret weapon for my success. But I've always been hesitant to talk about it because I was afraid I would offend somebody who, you know, physical health might not be so important to. But I don't think that's any reason to not talk about it because, you know, if it's you and you have no interest in this topic, you can just skip to the next episode. But I do believe that you're definitely missing out. That said, you do not have to be physically and mentally healthy in order to be successful. But I can tell you that it helps a ton. So let me sort of tell you, I guess, my routine and how I feel it plays into my success. So I'll get up in the morning, and 3 or 4 days a week, I go to the gym first thing and work out with weights because I'm a scrawny dude, trying not to be as scrawny. And I'll take as much time as I want in the gym to make sure I get my workout done. And the crazy thing is, I don't know how many times you guys wake up in the morning where you just feel kind of crappy and you kind of know right when you wake up that it's not going to be an awesome day. Does anyone ever feel like that? Because I know I definitely do. And usually it's something I did the previous day or something I ate or drank or, you know, worked on that kind of depleted my energy, and I can feel like the hangover effects the next day. Hangovers are not limited to just alcohol. You can get food hangovers, emotional hangovers, all kinds of things. That's why, you know, guys like Tony Robbins talk about how important it is to protect your state. They talk about that all the time. If you go to Tony Robbins seminars, state control is the main thing he teaches, and how to snap in and out of a certain state. So the thing that I notice when I work out is that I feel dramatically different from the time I walk into the gym, especially on those low energy days, to the time that I leave the gym. When I leave the gym, if I completed my workout, I always feel pretty good and I feel like I have energy. And I do drink coffee just about every day, but I almost feel like I don't really need it by the time I've left the gym. And I usually only drink less than half a cup every day. I think that's more physiology than anything. I'm wired to have a lot of energy, so I can't really drink a lot of caffeine. It just won't go down for some reason. So that's a big thing, because the way that you show up to your workday and to your goals and all that kind of stuff matters a lot. And so if you feel crappy, there's really no point in sitting down and trying to get some work done, because you're going to run out of energy in 45 minutes of trying to work, and the quality of your work is going to be low too, because your energy level is low. And so the stuff that you create is not going to be that great when you're in that state. You're better off to work on changing your state first and then get back to work feeling good. So learning how to feel good is sort of one of the best skills you can master. And that's kind of at the heart of what we're talking about in this episode. So I'm not going to harp on all the different types of exercise and stuff. I mean, weights is great. Any kind of cardio is great. Yoga is probably the best thing on earth if you've never tried it. It makes you feel relaxed and centered and energetic and just flexible. And it really helps your mental state more than any other exercise, I feel like. So I recommend that. But also know that you don't have to do one of these traditional forms of exercise just because everyone else does it. A lot of you out there listening to this are probably very creative people that require a good amount of mental stimulation to become engaged in something. And so if that's you, then just pounding pavement for 5 miles is probably not going to stick for you. You could force yourself to do it via willpower for a little while, but you're just going to get bored. Like, I hate running, and I'm not ashamed to admit that, and I'm not ashamed to say that I'll probably never run consistently at any point in my life. And I know I'm missing out on the benefits of running, but you can get cardio in a lot of other ways. I like things that mix cardio with creativity and fun. So there's parkour gyms here in Denver, which is basically a big playground for adults with boxes and rails and trampolines and foam pits you can jump into. It's so much fun. And every time I go, I just feel like a kid having fun. And then the next day I'm really sore. I got tons of cardio while I was there. So it's not any worse than, a traditional going to CrossFit or just grinding it out at the gym. In fact, I think it's better because it involves creativity and movement. And so you're building patterns in your brain neurologically. You're growing your brain. It's like learning an instrument or something, learning a new skill. And lots of sports are the same way. Snowboarding is another big one for me. I'd rather snowboard than run any day. And I could snowboard for 6 hours and completely wear myself out because I'm not bored doing it. And so I'll get a better workout because I enjoy it. So keep that in mind as far as exercise goes. And also just remember, if you're not exercising, that's fine, but everything would be a lot easier for you if you worked on improving your energy levels and your level of physical fitness. And the next piece is diet. And diet is something that is pretty near and dear to me. I wasn't always that healthy. I was the guy who ate 3 chicken breasts and drank protein powder and didn't eat any vegetables. I didn't even start eating salad until I was probably 20 years old. I remember as a kid, I'd always go to Subway and I'd get the foot-long turkey with cheese and mustard. That was it. It was the only things I liked on my sandwich. no nutrition whatsoever. In college, I drank a lot of beer and ate a lot of chicken wings and stuff. And then after college, a couple years after that, I started to get eczema, which is basically like these patches of red skin all over your body that itch really bad, and they just pop up out of nowhere, and it's really frustrating. Some of you probably have that or know someone who has it. Psoriasis is like the sister to eczema. They're both just autoimmune illnesses. They come from an unhealthy gut, basically. And my gut was pretty trashed because of all the bad stuff I put in it, and so on and so on. So I had to cure this eczema stuff because it's debilitating. It looks bad and it itches really bad. It's not something I could have dealt with, for my whole life. I know that. So I kind of dove into it and started researching and reading all the books on nutrition and stuff. And just to sum it up, like if you were to go out and pick the top 10 or 20 books on nutrition and diet and health, the best books that are out there, the core message that's at the center of all of them is that you have to center your diet around vegetables. It's been proven. There's been tons of scientific studies on this now. You can't refute it, basically. And I'm not saying that you have to be a vegetarian or a vegan. I eat fish and eggs, seafood and stuff like that on a limited basis. There's been studies that show that if your diet contains more than 15% of your calories from animal protein, you dramatically increase your risk of getting cancer because it raises your IGF levels, which is kind of a precursor to cancer cells. So you don't want to eat tons of meat, but you don't have to eliminate it either. But vegetables is the key, and fruit is the second most important thing to eat. And you can get full off of those things. In fact, plant-based protein powder like Vega 1 that they sell at Whole Foods is the bomb. That stuff is like crack. It's so good. It's so filling. You don't crave a chicken breast if you have a couple scoops of that in your smoothie or whatever. You feel full and satisfied. So my secret weapon for health is my smoothie every morning. It's a green smoothie. A lot of people say, like Russell said something on his podcast, like he said, I don't eat breakfast because it makes me feel tired. And I'm thinking, you're eating the wrong stuff for breakfast, because my breakfast gives me energy. And what my breakfast is a Vitamix blender, which you got to kind of have to blend it up to where it's nice and creamy. It's a $400 investment, but the life that you get back from that is worth it. You just have to save up for it or whatever, or just bite the bullet and buy one. Vitamix is the way of life. Once you got your Vitamix, cram it full of spinach, half an avocado. I do carrots and celery, strawberries, blueberries. Then I also throw in frozen bananas and frozen strawberries and blueberries, almond milk to make it blend, and sometimes I'll substitute celery or substitute cabbage for celery. You can kind of alternate those. Cabbage is really good for you. And you can put peanut butter or almond butter in there. It's good to have healthy fats in your diet. It gives you energy. And blend it all up and pound that. I put the Vega 1 protein powder in there too, 1 or 2 scoops. And I feel amazing. I remember the first time I started doing this, kind of eating more vegetables and fruit after I read all those books. I felt like I was just buzzing all day, and I got used to it. Now I don't notice it, but anytime I go and, stay with my grandma for a week in the South, and we eat a bunch of biscuits and eggs and crap like that all week, I feel terrible. And as soon as I get back home, I'm just devouring salads and green smoothies and stuff like that. And I miss it so much when it's removed from my diet. So I know that it's kind of become a permanent part of my life now, and something I don't have to use willpower to do. It's just kind of, I'm addicted to it. And just, I guess I didn't finish the story. I did cure the eczema completely, and now I can eat whatever I want and never comes back. And it's all from healing your body through eating mostly vegetables and fruit, you really should check out the Andi chart, ANDI. It's basically a chart that rates every food item on a scale from 1 to 1,000 based upon how nutrient dense it is, because the nutrient density of your calories is ultimately what matters most. Everyone can only eat so many calories every day, like a couple thousand for the average person, or maybe if you're a bigger guy or girl, 3,000 or 4,000, 5, whatever. You can only eat so many calories a day. So what matters is what those calories are made up of. Dr. Joel Fuhrman, who's kind of the godfather of nutrition, has a little analogy that says your health is equal to the nutrients divided by calories. And basically that means what kind of ROI are you getting on the food that you eat, the calories you eat. You know, we're investors and we care about ROI, return on investment, right? You buy a house, you want to get the best return on investment. Well, the stuff you're putting in your body has widely varying levels of ROIs depending on the nutrient density of it. So for example, kale is 1,000 on that scale. It's the maximum, which is why it's so popular. And literally I see people walking around Denver with shirts that just say kale on them. I wouldn't go that far, but like a French fry is a 20 and kale is 1,000. So you're getting whatever times that is more for bang for your buck when you eat kale versus a potato. And so if you cram your body full with nothing but potatoes, what do you think is going to happen versus kale? So that's about all, I'll say in this episode, but I couldn't go without just kind of letting you guys in on this part of my life, because for me, maintaining my health is critical. A combination of exercise, yoga, meditation, and eating the right diet is, if I was not able to do those things, I don't know that I would be able to be an entrepreneur and show up for you guys and do this podcast and build my businesses. I'd probably honestly want to just go sit at a job where I didn't have to use my brain. I didn't need to have a lot of energy. So I hope that helps some of you guys and does not offend some of you who do not care at all about this. But thank you for listening, and drink your green smoothies. Just try it. I promise you, you will love it. See you guys on the next one. Peace.
Want more? Get your free copy of Brian's book that is changing real estate businesses everywhere. Just go to www.fireyourself.net. Also, register for your free virtual real estate investing online masterclass at virtualinvestingclass.com.